The store lights hummed overhead, casting sharp shadows on tired, impatient faces. Michaelchen stood in the checkout line with his 2-year-old daughter, Lily, balanced on his hip. She clutched a worn stuffed giraffe, eyes puffy from a long, fussy afternoon. Michael knew why. Diapers were running out, money was running out, and life had been running him over for months. He had $12.47 in his wallet. The diapers cost $11.99. That meant 48 cents left until his next small freelance payment in 3 days. No formula this week. No bread. Just diapers. Because those were non-negotiable for a toddler who depended on him for everything. Michael once imagined a different future. At 32, he should have been thriving as an architect, building his career, raising Lily with his wife, Sarah. But Sarah had died when Lily was just 6 months old, a drunk driver stealing everything in a single moment. Michael spiraled grief, child care costs, constant absences from work. His firm tried to be patient, but eventually let him go, calling it restructuring. He called it the last fracture in a life already cracked. Since then, he had survived through odd jobs, drafting here, fixing leaky sinks there, anything to stay afloat. Now here he was, counting coin for diapers while strangers behind him sighed loudly. "Dad, I need giraffe," Lily whimpered as her toy slipped from her hands. Michael bent down to pick it up, coin spilling from his palm and bouncing across the dirty floor. His cheeks burned as he scrambled, awkwardly balancing Lily while reaching for quarters. "Sir, there's a line," someone snapped. "I know. I'm sorry. Just give me a second," Michael said, voice cracking. Then he heard a soft, steady voice beside him. "Here, let me help." A woman crouched next to him, collecting the fallen coins with quick, graceful movements. She looked mid-30s, dressed in a cream-colored blazer that practically whispered expensive. She handed him the coins with a gentle smile. No need to apologize. Michael gathered the last dime and paid exactly $11.99. Relief flooded his chest as he took the diaper pack and prepared to leave, but the woman stepped forward. "Excuse me," she told the cashier. "I'd like to buy every pack of these diapers in this size." The cashier blinked. "All of them?" "Yes, and please deliver them." She glanced at Michael. "What's your address?" He froze. I can't accept that. I don't even know you." The woman extended her card. "My name is Alexander Cole, and I'm helping because I've been where you are." Michael stared. "But why?" Alexandra's voice softened. "Once, I was a single mother counting pennies in a line just like this. Someone helped me. I promised to pay it forward." With the manager now involved, 30 packages were arranged for delivery. Michael stood dazed as Alexandra calmly handled logistics, like it was nothing. "I'll pay you back someday," he said helplessly. "I don't want repayment. Just pay it forward when you're able." Lily reached for Alexandra. "Pretty lady," she whispered. Alexandra smiled warmly. "You're the pretty one, sweetheart." Outside the store, as they walked toward the exit, Michael gathered the courage to ask, "How did you go from struggling single mom to this?" Alexandra sighed softly. "I worked harder than I thought possible. Night school, 2 jobs, and I got lucky. Now I run a consulting firm." She handed him a business card. "This is my personal number. Call if you need anything." Michael hesitated. "I can't keep taking." "You're not taking. I'm giving." That afternoon, 30 boxes of diapers arrived at his small apartment. Michael sank to the floor, cried from relief for the first time in months. A week later, shaking with nerves, he dialed the number written on her card. "Miss Cole, it's Michael, from the grocery store." "Michael, I'm glad you called. How's Lily?" "We're good, really good. And I hate to ask this, but do you know anyone who needs architectural drafting work? I'm running out of clients." "Send me your portfolio today," she said immediately. 2 days later, she called him back. "I found you a job, a full project, flexible hours, remote, 30 houses, $5,000 per house." Michael nearly dropped the phone. "That's $150,000. You're qualified, Michael. That's not charity. That's market rate. For the first time in a year, Michael felt hope. 3 months later, Alexandra invited Michael and Lily to lunch. The toddler instantly adored her, chattering nonstop. Alexandra listened patiently, amused. "She's wonderful," Alexandra said. "You're doing an incredible job." "I'm trying," Michael said quietly. "Some days it still hurts." Alexandra nodded. "What happened to Lily's mother?" Michael swallowed hard. "Car accident. A drunk driver." Her hand stilled around her coffee cup. "I'm so sorry." "It's the worst part. Lily won't remember her," he whispered. "You're keeping her alive through stories," Alexandra said. "That matters more than you think." They talked for hours about grief, parenthood, rebuilding a life after loss. Michael found himself unexpectedly comfortable with her, drawn to her warmth, her wisdom. When they stood to leave, Alexandra hesitated. "I'd like to see you again. Not because you needed help. As friends. Maybe more if you'd ever be open to that." Michael exhaled shakily. "I'd like that. But I need to go slow." "Slow is perfect," she said. And so they went slow. Coffee dates while Lily napped. Walks in the park. Dinners with careful planning. Alexandra never rushed him. She understood broken hearts had their own pace. Slowly, carefully, Michael fell in love again, not replacing Sarah, but building something new, something real. Exactly 1 year after they met, Michael brought Alexandra to the same grocery store. Lily, now potty-trained, marched proudly beside them. As they entered the diaper aisle, Michael dropped to one knee. "Alexandra Cole," he said, holding out a ring, "you saved my life here. Will you marry me?" She burst into tears and laughter. "You're proposing in a grocery store?" "In the place where you gave me hope." "Yes," she said, crying openly. "Yes, of course." They married 6 months later. Lily was the flower girl. Alexandra's grown daughter stood proudly as maid of honor. Together, Michael and Alexandra built a foundation to help single parents, rent, groceries, childcare, anything that could break a struggling family. "Everyone needs help sometimes," Alexandra would say. "The shame isn't needing help. It's in turning away when someone does." Whenever they told the story, Michael always said, "I was counting my last dollar." And Alexandra always added, "And I was counting my blessings, because I was finally in a place to help someone who needed it." A single act of kindness in a checkout line didn't just change Michael's day. It changed his future, his daughter's life, and Alexandra's purpose. He had been counting coins. She made sure he wasn't counting his last chance. And that changed everything. He walked toward the counter and returned with a small cup of warm soup, setting it gently in front of her. "Here," he said softly. "Start with this. Your stomach needs something warm." Her eyes glistened again. "Sir, please stop. You're being too kind. I don't deserve all this." His voice stayed steady, almost firm. "Everyone deserves to eat. Everyone." Sarah bowed her head and took a small sip. The moment the warmth hit her stomach, her hands trembled. Not from fear this time, but from relief. Emma, sitting cross-legged on the chair, smiled at her. "You look nicer when you're not scared," the little girl said. Sarah laughed through her tears. "Thank you, sweetheart." Noah felt something shift inside him, a quiet realization. This woman had been fighting alone for far too long. After a few minutes, Noah returned with a full sandwich she had originally wanted to buy. It was neatly wrapped and placed on a ceramic plate. He set it in front of her. "Eat slowly," he said. "You must be exhausted." "I can't accept this," she whispered again. "You already did," he replied gently. "So relax." For the first time since she walked in, Sarah allowed herself to eat properly. Every bite felt like a small victory, a reminder that she was still alive, still human, still worthy. When she finished half of it, she wrapped the rest carefully, almost protectively, and tucked it into her small purse. "It's for my daughter," she explained shyly. "She's waiting at home. She hasn't eaten much today." Noah didn't say anything. He simply stood and walked back behind the counter again. Moments later, he came back holding 2 paper bags and placed them in front of her. "One for you, one for your daughter." Fresh sandwiches, juice, and a muffin each. Sarah's breath caught. No. No, sir, please. This is too much. I can't pay you back. You don't have to, he said. Just promise me one thing. She looked up confused. What promise? That you won't ever feel ashamed for needing help. We all need help sometimes. Her lips parted, but she couldn't speak. She could only nod. A moment of truth. As Sarah stood to leave, her legs trembled again, not from hunger this time, but from gratitude so heavy it nearly knocked her over. Noah walked to the door. Do you have a way home? He asked. She shook her head. The bus comes in 30 minutes. I'll wait. No, he said firmly. I'll drive you. Sarah panicked. No. Sir, please, you've done enough. I don't want to bother you. You're not bothering me. I want to make sure you and your daughter are safe. She hesitated. But something in his voice, steady, honest, impossible to resist, finally calmed her fears. She nodded. He locked the shop, Emma holding his hand, and they walked toward his car together. Sarah kept whispering, thank you, as if afraid the kindness might disappear. She didn't say it enough. But the truth was, Noah wasn't doing this out of pity. He was doing it because he saw her. The strength, the struggle, the dignity she tried so hard to hold on to. The drive home, the ride to her apartment was quiet at first. Sarah stared out the window, nervous, embarrassed, grateful, overwhelmed, all at once. You work nearby? Noah asked gently. I used to, she replied. Lost my job 2 months ago. I've been applying everywhere, but nothing yet. Emma leaned forward between the seats. My daddy says people who try really hard always get something good. Sarah smiled. I hope so. When they reached her apartment building, a small, worn-down complex, Sarah's face flushed in embarrassment. She quickly opened her purse and handed Noah the last wrinkled dollar bill she had. Please, she whispered, placing it on the seat with trembling fingers. At least, please accept this. Noah stared at the lonely dollar, then at her thin, tired face. He gently placed it back in her hand. Keep it, he said. You're going to need it more than I do. Her lips shook. Tears gathered again. She pressed the dollar to her chest like it was something holy. Then she whispered, Bless you. A door opens. Before she stepped out, Noah said quietly, Sarah, come to the shop tomorrow morning. She froze. Why? I need help with bookkeeping, inventory, and customer orders. It's part-time for now, but it pays weekly. If you want it, the job is yours. Sarah covered her mouth with both hands. A sound escaped her that was half sob, half laugh. A job, she whispered. You would hire me? No, Noah said with a soft smile. I want to hire you. She broke, tears streaming, breath shaking, hope flooding into her chest like sunlight she had forgotten existed. I'll be there, she whispered. Thank you, sir. Truly. Noah nodded. Get some rest and feed your daughter well tonight. Sarah stepped out, carrying the bags of food like treasures. She looked back one last time at the man who had changed the course of her life in a single hour and whispered into the cold evening air, miracles do exist.